Are you aware that the Houston Astros team in 2017 that won the World Series actually cheated? Or that Michael Phelps, the Olympic gold medalist swimmer, was once a drug addict? Or did you know of the time when Ray Rice, a professional running back in the NFL, punched out his girlfriend and drug her into an elevator at a casino? It's crazy, right? And just to think that some kids in America or all over the world idolize these players and want to be like them when they grow up. But really, should they? That's the question I've always asked myself. Before I get into any details, my name is Adam Freeman, and this question has driven me to research this topic for the past few weeks diligently. So, my goals of this presentation are to first explain why these kids idolize athletes, then tell you why that's not the best thing for the kids, and finally give alternative role models for these kids to look up to. Alright, to start off with, these professional athletes are the best at what they do. If they weren't quote unquote professional, they wouldn't be the best. That's why they're the best. So, they're doing this as their career. Like, they're actually dedicating their entire life to a sport. That's like the coolest thing in the world to a kid. So, I can understand why kids do this. On top of that, they're making tons and tons of money. Take Tom Brady, for example. He's been the quarterback for the Patriots for countless years now. He makes tons of money. Look at his house. He lives in this huge mansion all by itself. Tons of money. And they're broadcasting on television all the time. That's whether or not they're even playing a sport. They might just be getting interviewed or in their backyard playing with their kid. They could be doing literally anything. Their day-to-day life is televised. So with this being said, athletes aren't always the best examples because of their lifestyle choices, and just their personal lives aren't always perfect. So they're human. Charles Barkley, a basketball player, once said, "I'm not a role model. Just because I can dunk a basketball doesn't mean I should raise your kids." And with that, I have to say I agree 100%. I'm not saying that all professional athletes are bad, but there's groups of them and few of them that are and do have made bad choices, and these bad choices reflect this throughout all sports and all professional athletes. So you can't always count on these athletes to be good role models for your kids. So an example is Cam Newton. He is the quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. He made a sexist comment in an interview. It was a female reporter asked him a question about the routes he was running during the game, and he kind of chuckled, and he was like, it's kind of funny because I never had a woman ask me about routes before. And she took offense to this, like it was a serious issue, and it went all across the media. So he had made this sexist comment, and it caused a big stink for him. So he didn't really make a good choice, and it's not something he shouldn't have said. So better options for role models can be found in daily life of these kids. So to start off with, kids don't want to admit this, but their parents are probably the best role models. Parents and guardians are there for the kids all the time. I mean, they'll push you so you'll be successful, they'll help you in any way, and they really should be good role models. If not, they really shouldn't be parents. So, kids will always look up to your parents. I mean, you don't really get an option. I mean, they're there your whole life, so you just have to go with it. And usually, they should be someone you can look up to, or at least pull something from them. So building on this, other family members are also good role models. I'm not talking about Uncle Eddie, who didn't graduate high school and doesn't have a job. I'm talking about your other family members who have been successful, gone out and done things. You know, your cousin who went into the military, is fighting for your country, things like that. I mean, there's people around you that you can always look up to. And then if you don't have these necessarily, there's always community members and community leaders who you can find and look up to. People that are members of organizations that do good work, you know, donate things, help people out. These are good people. I mean, these people are people you can idolize and people that these kids can look up to. I mean, youth groups, you know, like Boy Scouts of America, like your Scoutmaster. That's a good example of someone you could look up to. So, although kids like look up to these rich and famous athletes, they can find better role models like around them all the time. At the end of the day, someone that you know and have a personal connection with, I feel as though that is like more special than just an athlete that you don't really have a personal connection with that you know. So if you know them, that's always a better thing for you. And building back to what I said earlier, you shouldn't really idolize these people just because of their athletic ability, just because they can hit home runs, they can swim fast, they can run fast, they can do all these things and get trophies and medals and awards for athletic ability doesn't mean that they are good people. I'm not saying that they're all bad people, but I'm saying that there are athletes that aren't good examples for kids. And going back to Charles Barkley's quote, because I find this very, very important, and it's very, very true, is always remember, just because they can dunk a basketball doesn't mean they should be teaching and raising your kids. There's no farther things I need to say. That says it all right by itself.